John Calvin on Psalm 10, verses 5 through 10. His ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. His ways are always prosperous. He is haughty, and your laws are far from him. As the wicked enjoy a continued course of prosperity, they dream that God is bound or plighted to them, and hence they put his judgments far from them, and if any man oppose them, they are confident they can immediately put him down or dash him to pieces with a puff or breath. Now we understand the simple meaning of the prophet to be that the ungodly mock God, taking encouragement from his forbearance as that base tyrant Dionysius, because he had a prosperous voyage after having plundered the temple of Proserpine, boasted that God favored the sacrilegious. Hence it is that they put far from them the judgments of God. Presuming upon the great distance of God from them, they promise themselves not only a truce with death during their whole life, but also an everlasting covenant with it. We see how, by procrastinating the evil day, they harden themselves and become more and more obstinate in evil. Yes, persuading themselves that God is shut up in heaven as if they had nothing to do with him, they strengthen themselves in the hope of escaping unpunished. He says to himself, nothing shall shake me. I'll always be happy and never have trouble. There is a very great difference between a despiser of God who, enjoying prosperity today, is so forgetful of the condition of man in this world as through a distempered imagination to build his nest above the clouds, and who persuades himself that he shall always enjoy comfort and repose. There's a very great difference between him and the godly man who, knowing that his life hangs only by a thread, and is encompassed by 1,000 deaths, and who, ready to endure any kind of afflictions which shall be sent upon him, and living in the world as if he were sailing upon a tempestuous and dangerous sea, nevertheless bears patiently all his troubles and sorrows, and comforts himself in his afflictions, because he leans wholly upon the grace of God, and entirely confides in it. The ungodly man thinks himself sufficiently strong and powerful to bear up against all the assaults which shall be made upon him. The faithful man says that although he may even fall and sink into the lowest depths, his fall will not be fatal, for God will put his hand under him to sustain him.